Hello. So, as a preschool teacher and as a primary school teacher, it is important, very, very important, that whilst you're teaching reading and comprehension, you ensure that there's fluency. You might ask, what do I mean by fluency? What's she talking about? Reading is not just being able to say the words in a text or being able to blend the sounds and then you read a whole page or 2 pages. Oh wow, my child can read so well. It goes beyond that. Let the target be fluency. And now there are four main aspects of fluency for you to say, oh, my child or my learner can read fluently. The four main aspects that you should address, that you should cover, that you should check for are accuracy. What's accuracy? Making sure that the child can say the words correctly. So the child sees BAT and is able to say bat, not saying bit, because he's seeing BAT. And so instead of saying bat, the child is saying bit. That's accuracy, that the child is able to say every single word in that text correctly. Now, the second is speed. You're not reading too fast and you're not going to read too slow. Once upon a time, that child is still a work in progress. For fluency to be part of the checklist, then that child should be able to read at the right speed. Once upon a time, okay? And then the child is observing all of the punctuations. That takes us to the third aspect, expression. I'm not reading like a robot. Once upon a time, there was a man who was a farmer. That's the robot reading. And when I do that in class, my learners, they all start laughing. But it's the truth. That's how we're grooming some of our learners to read, and it is wrong. You say, oh no, as long as he has said all the words correctly, as long as he's not rushing. There's the third aspect, expression. Express yourself. When the character is happy, let's see that happy feeling. If the character is sad, let's experience it. Let's feel it. Once upon a time, there lived a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood. If there's an exclamation, teach them to observe the punctuations. What emotions do I show when there's an exclamation? What emotions do I show when there's a question? How are you? What are my intonations going to be like as I read? So that's the third aspect. Now the fourth is comprehension. A child who struggles to decode the words or to sound, to express themselves properly, not sound like a robot, would struggle with comprehension because there's so many other things that the child is trying to focus on. But a child who is fluent in their accuracy, their speed, their expression would comprehend better. That's the fourth aspect. Do I understand what I'm reading? Do I even know what I'm talking about? Now, when all of these four elements come together and your learner or your child is really sound in their accuracy, their speed, their expression, and ability to understand, you have a fluent reader. Thank you.